Alright, so I'm really super excited to get the second video in this series of Mimikatz. So in this tutorial, we are going to take a look how attacker utilize called pass the hash, which is in this scenario, we assume that we need a domain controller administrator username and password, but we can get the username but not the password, because by default Windows is going to store all the user password is a NTLM hash. So we'll take this hash and we're going to run an attack, and utilizing this hash we are going to change domain controller root administrative password. So that's the way domain controller administrator, he doesn't know the password has changed, and we'll have a full complete control of Windows domain controller. So I'm super excited, and let's see how it can be done in this short tutorial video. Alright, so as you can see that I am in the bank PC, so let's see the IP address, which is 192.168.101.100, and if I run net user bank domain, it will give me what is the administrative privilege, what's the username, and what other permission I do have here with the bank user, right? So this is the basics. So now let's see that as an administrator, right? So if it's the domain controller, if they are any administrator, what permission they have it, right? So if I run that, and as you can see the highlighted portion, it is built-in account administrator for the computer and domain. I need this administrator password, but we can abstract only NTLM hash, and utilizing the hash we're going to change whatever password administrator has it. So now I'm in the Mimikatz. So now let's do privilege, then colon we're going to do, and then debug. So that will give us the privilege access. So now if I now run seek URL LSA colon then log on password, and look what's going to be happen. It's going to be dump all the LTLM hash. So let's take a look. I do have a user, as you can see in the highlighted portion, in bank 1, right? So bank 1, take a look right here, the bank 1, and I do have a username bank 1, and the right below password is null because it's not storing plain text password, as I told you before, right? So while we have we have the NTLM hash, but we need an administrator. So let's assume we are going to RDP from this machine to the domain controller. That's the IP address, as you can see in my screen highlighted portion. We are going to be RDP, and we are going to utilize our domain controller credential. So as soon as I do that, so I'm going to copy and paste, right? And then I'm say connect, and I'm going to use my administrative username administrator. Password is, if I take a look in the icon, password 1234. This is my secret password to log into the domain controller. So I'll click OK, and I'll say yes. So now let's verify, make sure I'm in the domain controller and RDP, right? So if I say IP config, and as you can see 192.168.101.254, that's the domain controller IP address. If I say who am I, I'm an administrator in carp.domain, right? So that's it. So now if I go back to the local machine and open Mimikatz again, and I run this command, I will get the administrator username, and I will get the NTLM hash. Take a look. So privilege colon debug, absolutely fine. Seek URL LSA, and then we are going to run log on password, right? So sorry, mistype log on password, and look what is going to show me. So as you can see right here, so I'm going to scroll up and look at that administrator, and I do have it NTLM hash. This is the hash I needed. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to open a notepad, right? And I'm going to copy and paste. So this is the hash I'm going to use to change the administrator password, because I don't know what is the password right now. We need to get into the domain controller, right? So let's do that. So how we can do? Again, it's very simple in Mimikatz. It's called LSA dump. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type LSA dump, and then change NTLM hash. This is the Mimikatz built-in tool, and then I put the server DC corp studemia and user is administrator. Only thing we have to change the backslash old, and I'm going to copy this hash. So I'm going to say copy and paste. Oh, there's a little bit typo. After old, I have to put colon. That's this requirement. After colon, and I'm going to define my new password. It's called Akil123. So all hash is going to be changed. It will generate a new hash and new password. The domain controller administrator, he has no idea I have changed it, right? So let's see what happens. I'm going to hit enter. As soon as I'm going to hit enter, you will see the two kind of hash is giving it as an output, right? So you see the old NTLM hash, and it's generate brand new NTLM hash. Look at that. And the brand new hash would associate with the new password that I defined, Akil123. So now we are going to use Akil123, and the old username password is not going to be work. Even domain controller administrator tried to log into the domain controller. It's a, oh, sorry. You see, this is the old one I'm using. Look what happened. It says, are you sure you want to connect? And look, the username password is incorrect, right? That's the domain administrator is going to see because I have changed it from the behind the scene. So if I put my new password, look what's going to be happen. So I will be in the domain controller myself. Look at what happened. You see that I'm in the domain controller. Now I see 192.168.101.254. If I say who I am, I'm in domain controller administrator. So this is the way attacker does patch the hash attack. So this is very important to patch regularly Windows domain controller and make sure the configuration is right. Otherwise, the attacker can change and gain easily no matter what we do. Thank you.